afternoon, Jules here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So we're back here to make some little angels and fairies. So I've made some up, and what I've done is I have used some die cuts as little skirts just to make them look more like little flower fairies. And the die cuts I've used I think that's Elizabeth Designs. I got 2 of them. That's a poinsettia. These are Do Crafts. I've got some of these, and I've even used a snowflake. So if you don't have any flower dies, you can use a snowflake. I did colour mine, you can see I just smooshed them in some ink, but you don't have to, you can just, that was actually a paper flower petal, and I just went round it with some a pink felt tip. If you don't have any dies, you can cut circles out and fold them and then cut them. So I'll do one of them. This is I think a 1.5, no, 3.8 centimetre. Let me have a look and I'll tell you what it is in inches. Yeah, it's a 1.5, because I've got 1.5 and I've got a 1 inch and a 2 inch. So that's the 1.5 inch. Or just draw around a lid, anything, and what I did was I folded it in half. It's a bit fiddly. I've used scrapbook paper, so it's a little bit stiffer. It's probably about 140 GSM to 160, and then I fold half of that in, and then I fold the other half at the back. Otherwise, trying to fold them in half again, I just can't seem to do it. So, and then I've got some curved scissors, but you don't have to, you can use normal scissors, and that's probably halfway. Oops. And then I just cut it from the halfway mark and make a slight curve, and then cut it down to match at the other side. That one's gone down a bit further, but might not have. And then when you open it out, you should have 8 petals. Yeah, and then all I do is you can put it on a rubber mat and use a ball tool, but I just stretch it so it curves round. And if it's not curving round enough, I'll go over it again, and then the big bead, it'll just curl round that like a skirt. So we've got our pins. I'm using the pins with the eyes on them, not the, so it's got the loop, and we'll use one of these, and you can see where the middle is and just poke that through. If you've got an awl or something like that, you can poke a hole in it already. Then all I do is I just mould that round like that, and then the wings, just pick the wings that I want, the wings on. Right, I'm going to put a little bead there just to lift the wings. Sometimes the wings just don't look right. Just depends which ones you use. So you've got a bit of a body there. And then put the wings on. And then you use a slightly smaller one for the head when I find the hole. There we are. And then what I used is I've got some little tiny ones, and I just little flowers, but again you can use a little circle. I'll poke a hole in that one, otherwise I'll rip it. So just guess where the hole is. Careful you don't poke your finger with it like I do quite often. And then put that on, and it acts like a little cap. And it doesn't matter if it's not a flower. I've got one of these Fiskars punches, and it's a flower shape, so I can cut like the little tiny flowers out. I did try and fold one of these circles up, but I just couldn't do it. And then we've got a little cap there, and then what you do is make sure your pin's straight, and then hold the bottom, keep your beads tight, and then just bend that over like that. So you will need some wire cutters, and I usually leave about 1/2 inch, so just my wire cutters have just about had it. And the round nose pliers. Now I'm not a jewellery maker, I've dabbled, so all you jewellery makers out there will be screaming at the video saying what on earth you do when you're holding it all wrong, but as I say, I'm not a jewellery maker. And there you have it. And then you can either be, you can fill these up. Right, so you can see what I've done is I've left too much space there. That's because I'm not a jewellery maker. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to tighten that up. And there we have. And then we have our little fairy. So if you're doing a fairy journal and you're going to have little flower fairies in, these are ideal. So I'll make another one, and we'll use one of the snowflakes. Now what I did was it's just a tiny little snowflake, but obviously it won't bend right round the bead. So what I did was I just cut into it, just picked a point, and I decided to go this side of that one, and I just snipped into it. Go to the next one, snip into it, go to the next one, snip into it, go to the next one. Yeah. And then you can then, know, you can just sort of like mold them. And then again, and you can use any, I mean, I've got silver and gold. I'm just using the silver ones at the moment. Again, and I'm using one of the biggest beads. And just put it through. You can't, if you use the head ones, you need to put another bead at the bottom, one of the smaller ones, or a seed bead if you've got some tiny little seed beads like that. That one won't go through, and then you put that through, and then you put your little snowflake. And all I did was, because the beads are like an apple green and pink, I just scooshed them in, I think it was pickled raspberry and shabby shutters, I think. And we'll try the wings with the heart, and I don't think we need a bead there. And then one of the smaller beads. I mean, if you don't like the look of it, try a different size bead. Again, I'm just going to put one of these on. And then just bend the pin over, cut it, and leave about 1/2 inch. You can leave that on and just curl it round, but you'll get double loops. I get myself in the right tiswas with them, so I don't. And you're just supposed to, oh, you're not supposed to do it over the double. You just keep moving that round so it just stays round one of the nose like that. So I've got a double one there. I'm just going to tie it in a little bit tighter, and there we are. We have another one. So you can make lots of dangles, and I just put them on these bulb pins because they're easy to pin onto your journal. So I'm just going to put these on there. I don't think I've got any spare ones. No. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll have a go at making an angel. So the angels, when I do them a little bit bigger. Right, and we don't use any of these. So we'll take our pin, and it is the eye one I'm using. I'm giving it a bit of a body, and I think we'll use the flourishy wings. I think that's maybe a bit too big. We'll try it. Yeah, that's too big. We don't want an angel with a big head. There. And you can put like little bead caps and things on them, so, but I'm not. So I'm just going to turn that down. And what I am going to do is I am going to try and do this to make it a bigger loop. These maybe it's not the best round nose pliers to do it. It's just to show you that you don't have to. And then if you turn and manipulate the circle, it looks like a little hair. And that's all you need to do for your angel. Got any, it's usually organza ribbon I use. No, that's too big. And that's not big enough. I need to get these sorted actually. That's too big. Right. We'll try it with this. I think it's too big, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. So we've got some ribbon. And it's just plain white satin ribbon. And GK did some with ribbon, and they turned out really nice, and she used organza. Ah, right, I've got some organza ribbon, but I think it's a bit too big. We'll see. And I'm just going to take them ties off. And where's my lighter? When I'm messing on with ribbon and stuff like that, I usually have a lighter somewhere that I just singe the edges of the ribbon, because organza ribbon does tend to, so I just run it through like that. It's not done it there. Don't do it too much that it burns the ribbon, and it just stops it from fraying. Okay, so we'll get this out of the way. So we'll get another, we'll use a gold one. And you can use any beads, but I got these beads from BB Crafts. It is BB Crafts, and I didn't get the tools, but they do tools, and they do everything. I mean, they do specialize, and it's you know, all the stuff comes packed in nice little boxes. Now all I'm doing with this is I'm just like stitching, you know, using it as a needle. So I'm just like a running stitch just up the middle. Might look like a fairy on the top of the Christmas tree. I think I might have put too much on it. Have a look. Nope. But organza is definitely nice, and you can get some lovely organzas. You can get some nice, especially at Christmas. I mean, if you got some big beads and that, you could make some nice big angels. But I always think they're lovely on journals, and they're a nice little gift. My little granddaughters have got them. They love them. Yeah, and all I'm doing is I'm just frilling the ribbon out a bit. Just manipulating it so that I'll like it. And then I'm going to put another bead, but I think I'll put a bigger bead. Yeah. And we'll have a look at these wings. These are like angel wings. and then we'll put a head. Now I am going to use one of the bigger beads for a head because it is a bit taller. And then you've got less, so again I'm just holding the beads it's a long time since I've done this. I know it always looks awkward the way I hold it. And then you just turn it round, turn it round. Let me get that bit. And if you get a bit stuck up like that, you can nip it together and then just press down. There's other tools that you can get and use. I don't have them, as I say. I'm not a jewellery maker, and yeah, it would be nice to have them, but I'm not going to be making jewellery, so. And there we have it, and I'm just going to manipulate that circle a bit because it's not a big circle. Actually, if I push it up, I might be able to. That's it. And there we have our little organza. Maybe it's less, I don't know, it looks pretty. And just twist the ribbon round so that you've got it the way you like it. So you could make like little ballerina angels and fairies, you know, if you've got kids or grandchildren that do ballet, and you know, something to sort of like stick off their little bags. And so there's another one. And trying to think, what else could we do? I've still not fathomed out a dragonfly yet. I think I'm going to have to put a bit more wire on it, but we'll have a look. I can do a dragonfly with ribbon, and I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. And it's just the small beads. I think they're 4mm. But when you get this pack, if you buy this pack, you get all the sizes that you need. So I've got 2, 4, 6. I think we'll just give another one. Now I'll give another one. Yeah. And what have we got for ribbon? Oh, we've got some nice bits of iridescent ribbon here. So they have 4 wings. So they have the 2 long ones, and then they have the 2 short ones. I've done this before on video, so I'm just cutting it a little bit smaller, and I'm just pointing the ends like that. And then all I do is I just put them together like that, and I'm just going to again thread this through. So I'm going to do the small one first, and when it's organza you can usually get it through. So I'm putting it in the bottom and then out the top, And then again, let me see where the middle is. That's it. Again, thread that through and then thread it through the top. And we'll put another one of them and then a slightly bigger one for its head. Again, bend it right over. Well, I've made a little pig's ear out of that one. It's meant to be a dragonfly, not a pig's ear, honest. That's better. So you don't have to be a jewellery maker to do these. And the wire is bendy, so I mean you could do it round a knitting needle and that would be a little bit more fiddly, and you'd probably need to you know, maybe use a pair of tweezers. But there you are. Is that not pretty? So we've got our fairy with organza or angel. We've got our big angel. Where's our big angel? There. And then we've got our little ones, whoops, that we made, the little flower fairies with the paper die cuts, and we've got them without. So there you are. So we've got some lovely little fairies. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will be back. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and work out how to do a dragonfly just using beads, and I will show you in the next video. But hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.